Alex Eala has officially made history, achieving something no Filipino tennis player has ever accomplished before. At just 21 years old, she captured her first WTA 500 singles title in spectacular fashion, earning a massive $252,000 prize. But the biggest reward wasn't the money. It was the moment she gave an entire nation of more than 127 million people something to celebrate. In just one unforgettable week, Eala defeated an Olympic gold medalist, the reigning tournament champion, a four-time Grand Slam champion, and finally, the world's number 3 player. Her remarkable run ended with a commanding straight-sets victory over Jessica Pegula, a performance that instantly became one of the greatest achievements in Philippine sports history. The championship match had all the ingredients of a classic. The stadium at Rock Creek Park was packed with nearly 7,000 fans, creating an electric atmosphere inside the William H. G. Sturd Tennis Center. Every seat was filled as supporters waited to see whether the young Filipina could complete her incredible journey. Standing across the net was Jessica Pegula, the tournament's top seed and world number 3. Pegula entered the final with 11 WTA singles titles, a US Open final appearance, and the confidence of a player who had already lifted the Washington title in 2019. She had ended Eala's magical Miami Open run just over a year earlier, introducing the young Filipina to the global tennis stage. Now they met again, but this time the stakes were much higher. Both players settled into the match quickly, exchanging powerful rallies from the opening games. Pegula relied on her experience, intensity, and consistency, while Eala displayed the confidence of a player whose game had reached another level. Before the final, Eala explained just how much she had improved since their previous meeting. "I think I'm a much more well-rounded player now," she said. "Physically I'm stronger, and several parts of my game, especially my forehand and serve, have improved a lot." Those improvements became obvious from the very first set. Washington had already witnessed one of the most impressive tournament runs of the season. Eala opened her campaign by defeating Olympic gold medalist Zhang Kunwan. She then eliminated defending champion Lala Fernandez after producing a stunning comeback from 5-1 down in the second set. Next came a straight-sets victory over world number 10 Alana Svitolina before she completely outplayed four-time Grand Slam champion Naomi Osaka in the semifinals, winning 6-4, 6-2 in only 76 minutes. Now only one obstacle remained. Pegula had earned her place in the final after defeating Diana Asuchnudder in the semifinals, but even she acknowledged the challenge waiting for her. "I'm a big fan of Alex," Pegula admitted before the match. "She's the future of the tour, and honestly she's already here." From the opening point, Eala played with fearless confidence. Her ground strokes were precise, her movement was exceptional, and every opportunity she created was converted with remarkable composure. She broke Pegula's serve early and immediately took control of the match. Each time the American tried to respond, Eala raised her level even higher. Her consistency, patience, and aggressive shot-making never allowed Pegula to build momentum. When championship point finally arrived, the crowd erupted. The scoreboard showed 6-3, 6-4. Alex Eala had officially become a WTA 500 champion. She had defeated the world's number 3 player in straight sets, captured the biggest title of her career, secured 500 valuable ranking points, and earned the largest paycheck of her professional career. More importantly, she had accomplished something no Filipino tennis player had ever done before. One of the most memorable moments of Alex Eala's incredible run came after her semifinal victory over Naomi Osaka. Despite defeating one of the biggest names in women's tennis, Eala remained humble and full of respect for her opponent. "It's such an honor to share the court with her," Eala said afterward, "but I knew I could never count her out. I had to stay completely locked in from the first point until the last." That mindset carried her into the biggest match of her career. Standing between Eala and history was Jessica Pegula, the world's number 3 player and the tournament's top seed. Their previous meeting at the 2025 Miami Open had ended in a heartbreaking 3-set defeat for the young Filipina, a loss that left her wondering what could have been. This time, however, the story would be completely different. Eala stepped onto the court with confidence, immediately applying pressure on Pegula's serve. She earned an early break and never allowed the American to recover. With fearless shot-making, outstanding defense, and remarkable composure, Eala controlled the pace of the match from start to finish. When the final point was played, the scoreboard told the story. 6-3, 6-4, Alex Eala had officially become a WTA 500 champion. The victory earned her 500 valuable ranking points and a winner's prize of $252,000, propelling her into the WTA top 20 for the first time in her career. It was the biggest breakthrough of her professional journey. Even more impressive was the path she took to get there. In just one extraordinary week, Eala defeated 5 elite opponents whose combined resumes included 10 Grand Slam singles titles. She beat 2 top 10 players and finished her unforgettable run by defeating the world's number 3 player in straight sets. It wasn't simply a tournament victory. It was one of the greatest championship runs ever produced by a rising star. As she lifted the trophy high above her head, Eala wasn't thinking about ranking points or prize money. Instead, she remembered the little girl from Quezon City who first learned to play tennis on a basketball court with painted lines, wearing ruffled socks and light-up shoes while chasing a dream that once seemed impossible. She understood that this victory belonged to far more than herself. It belonged to everyone who had believed in her from the very beginning. As the championship celebrations unfolded in Washington, nearly 10,000 miles away, an entire nation erupted with joy. For the first time in history, the Philippines had a WTA 500 singles champion. The achievement immediately sparked celebrations across the country. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., who had already honored Eala following her remarkable Wimbledon campaign, was among the first national leaders to congratulate her once again. During an earlier reception, he praised not only her success on the court, but also the character she displayed throughout her journey. "You have brought so much pride to the Philippines, not only because of your achievements, but because of the grace with which you have handled your success," he said. He continued by highlighting how Eala represented the very best qualities of the Filipino people. "The way you compete and conduct yourself reminds us why we are proud to be Filipino." Those words carried even greater meaning after her historic title. Eala had become much more than an elite tennis player. She had become a symbol of resilience, humility, determination, and national pride. Across the Philippines, celebrations spread rapidly. From the streets of Quezon City, where her tennis journey first began, to packed sports bars throughout Manila, thousands of fans gathered to celebrate together. Social media exploded with congratulatory messages as Eala Mania quickly became one of the country's top trending topics. The nation had found a new sporting icon. During an earlier homecoming celebration, Eala had spoken passionately about what representing the Philippines meant to her. "I'm so proud to be Filipino," she said. "That love and pride are something I share with everyone, and I always try to represent my country the best way I can." Now she had done far more than represent it. She had etched its name into tennis history. Her victory also resonated with millions of Filipinos living abroad. From healthcare workers in North America to overseas workers across the Middle East, supporters adjusted work schedules, stayed awake through the night, and gathered with family and friends just to watch her matches. The connection between Eala and her supporters continued to grow with every victory. "When you feel this much love, it's hard to get used to," she admitted after reaching the final. "Every time, it brings a new feeling." That feeling was shared by an entire nation. Fans and media began describing her as a unifying figure for the Philippines. Although Eala remained modest, insisting she was simply grateful to inspire others, the impact of her success was impossible to ignore. More than 127 million Filipinos celebrated together as one. And while Washington marked the greatest chapter of her career so far, everyone knew the story wasn't over. The US Open was fast approaching. The North American hard court season was just beginning, and Alex Eala's remarkable journey was only getting started. As the celebrations continued, it became impossible not to reflect on just how extraordinary Alex Eala's journey had been. The young girl who once trained every day with her grandfather and brother, wearing ruffled socks and flashing light-up shoes on a basketball court in Quezon City, had just accomplished something no Filipino tennis player had ever achieved. She was now a WTA 500 singles champion. She had conquered some of the biggest names in women's tennis and carried the hopes of more than 127 million Filipinos with her every step of the way. Most importantly, she never let them down. Despite reaching the greatest milestone of her career, Eala remained grounded. Following her semi-final victory, she spoke with the same humility that has defined her rise through the professional ranks. "I still have so much motivation to become a better player and an even better person," she said. "I'm only 21. It's not like I'm the queen of the world or anything." Those words perfectly captured her character. Yet to millions of Filipinos, she had already become something extraordinary, a symbol of hope, perseverance, and national pride. Her championship victory over world number 3 Jessica Pegula completed one of the most remarkable tournament runs in recent memory. Along the way, Eala defeated an Olympic gold medalist, the defending champion, a top 10 player, a 4-time Grand Slam champion, and finally the tournament's top seed. It was a performance that will be remembered for generations. Before the championship match, Eala reflected on how much she had evolved since her previous meeting with Pegula at the Miami Open. "If I compare myself now to then, I think I'm a much more well-rounded player," she explained. "I'm physically stronger, and I've improved several areas of my game." On championship day, she proved every word. The final score 6-3, 6-4 left no doubt about who was in control. Eala dictated the match with confidence, composure, and fearless shot-making, producing one of the finest performances of her young career. Even Naomi Osaka, one of the greatest players of her generation, recognized what the tennis world was witnessing. After falling to Eala in the semifinals, Osaka offered glowing praise. "She's incredible," Osaka said. "I truly believe she's a star. It's exciting to see someone like her become a role model for so many people. I think it's amazing how inspiring she already is." Those words carried tremendous significance coming from a 4-time Grand Slam champion, but perhaps Eala's greatest strength isn't just her talent. It's the connection she has built with her supporters around the world. Throughout the tournament, she repeatedly expressed her gratitude for everyone who stood behind her. "I'm really grateful for everyone who supports me," she said. "They're the reason I have this platform, and they make what I do even more meaningful." The $252,000 champion's paycheck will undoubtedly change her life. The 500 ranking points that propelled her into the WTA top 20 will define her career. But neither the money nor the rankings can fully measure what this victory truly represents. Alex Eala didn't simply win a tennis tournament. She inspired an entire nation, rewrote Philippine tennis history, and announced to the world that a new global star has officially arrived.